and I had to sleep in the bus stop one of the nights.
What?
Wasn't the best experience.
Oh my god.
I hate the cold. It was about it was 0 degrees. And I was sleeping there without I had my jacket on, but then it was not enough.
Easy come, easy go.
Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to Harghun'S podcast, and today is the second episode, and for today's topic it's about budget traveling. But before you guys watch this, if you guys are new here, this is Harghun'S, the channel, and in this channel we talk about self-development, seeking discomfort and challenges. Alright, so that's what this whole channel is all about. And if you guys are new here, smash that subscribe button. And for today we have our guest known as Malaysia's Mowgli. Introduce yourself, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
What's poppin'?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm amazing, man.
Alright.
So, as you guys know, today's topic is about budget traveling. So we have Kovin Siva. He has traveled to so many different countries and he has done budget traveling. Just imagine traveling to a country by half of the price. Wouldn't you want that, right? So Kovin, tell the audience, introduce yourself to them.
Alright, so my name is Kovin. I'm 23. I graduated like 2 years ago, so
Right.
that was like 2017. And then I took a year gap to travel because I've gotten straight into my studies right after my SPM and stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, so I started traveling, told myself I'll keep that one whole year for me to just explore places and stuff.
Right.
And yeah, it just sticked on after that.
Wait, 1 second. How did you convince your parents that you want to take a year gap to actually go and do traveling? Like, how did you do that?
Okay, so my parents are very supportive in this.
Okay.
That's one good thing, which I don't think all parents would be, especially when it comes down to traveling and on your own kind of stuff. Everyone's always chasing things like, okay, right after we finish our studies, we have to get a job, we have to start saving up. But then one thing I realized, most of the people, so basically I've also worked as a Grab driver for a while.
Okay.
And through this, I actually realized everyone that I told about the traveling, mid-30s, mid-40s, or even to the 50s, they kept on telling one regret in their 20s is that they didn't get to travel.
Wow.
So that really hit me in the head, like, I'm already in my 20s right now. I should be traveling before I start regretting like what they did. They told me like they had the money right now, but they can't travel the way how a 20-year-old can travel.
Right.
So that was actually one of the reasons why I actually got myself into traveling. My parents were supportive in that terms also. They told me like, this is the best age if you want to do it. You don't have much commitments yet to your family, to your job and stuff. Yeah.
Your parents are some cool Indian parents out there.
They are.
So, I'm assuming all of your friends, they went and they furthered their studies, but you stayed back and you wanted to travel a year. How did you actually, how do you tell yourself to not fall into that trap? And to actually, to go and actually do what you want to do. How did you not allow the peer pressure get into your head?
Alright, so right after graduation, everyone's coming up to me and telling, are you going to apply internship here? Are you going to start applying for jobs? I did tell them on the travel. They didn't expect it to be 1 year.
Wow.
Especially when it comes down to Malaysians right now. We don't really see that many Malaysians taking one whole year gap. They might have take maybe a few months before they get into the job, or even like for doctors, they do the housemanship. So that just small gap which they take. So I actually did something that came into my mind is called the system.
The system.
Where I told myself, okay, I want to go away from this system where everyone's doing it the same way. I want to do it a way where I feel I can still actually come out of it and experience more in a way. So I told myself, okay, I don't have to get into it, just go on with it,
So you actually told to yourself that you want to beat the system and not actually be part of it.
Yes.
Wow.
But to be honest, like I haven't actually gone fully out of it. I've just finished 1 year of traveling right now, and I'm kind of looking into a job. At the same time, I told myself like, even if I'm going to get a job, I'm going to get a gap year soon. Like I'm going to be traveling, not in terms of like continuous, but I'll take small times to travel.
Right.
At the same time, maybe I'll work for 4 years,
Right.
save up, take a one more whole year gap. So it doesn't have to be like after 4 years I'm getting married and getting into other things. Yeah.
Makes sense. So you actually told me that you started your own company.
Yeah.
Basically, what he does is he actually goes and he does budget traveling with other travelers as well. Do you want to tell them a little bit about that?
So, okay, what I currently do, while I'm still, actually I graduated as a geologist. So yeah, it's totally off. Even my parents keep on asking me right now, why did you take geology instead of travel? But to me, I had the interest in geology, but right now traveling has just picked up compared to geology. So currently I'm opening up a travel business. It's still fresh, so we are not registered or anything yet, so I'm doing it as a freelance. What I do is I bring people to places where normal tours won't bring people.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very authentic, I would say.
Right.
So you'll be traveling the way how I might have traveled.
Mm-hmm. And how is that?
So
is it like sleeping in tents?
Okay.
Just
so like I'm trying to keep it more of like a mix so that it wouldn't go really off.
Okay.
Because they're still, of course, it's a business, so I'm charging and stuff. So I cannot be expecting them to sleep all the way in tents throughout the whole trip, kind of thing. So we do have a little bit of experience, kind of thing. So like my previous trip to Cebu, we actually slept in the airport the first night.
Whoa.
So yeah.
And what was their reaction when you told them that you're going to sleep in the airport?
Okay, so what I did was I didn't force them.
Yeah.
But it's more of like I told them, okay, if you want to get the cheapest ticket, you have to reach there by night, because that's how most plane tickets work and stuff.
Okay.
So I told them like to save costs, you can just sleep over in the airport. Then I told them I'm doing that, so you can join in if you want to, and everyone were open to it.
Wow.
So all of them just joined it. Yeah.
Dude.
So it was really nice. Like you just see like the people I went with, there was 6 of them.
Yeah.
It's all of their first time sleeping in the airport, so you can see like their reaction change when I told them, this is where we sleep, this is our bed, you have toilets at the side, that kind of imaginations coming up. Oh, like how do we sleep over here and stuff. Then we just started playing cards right in the airport and we slept off. It was a really good day actually, even that.
And definitely, like, if I was in their shoes, it would have been a memorable experience for me as well. Like, not everyone can say that they've actually slept in an airport, right?
True.
And actually going and doing that, it may be a bit too radical for some of you guys, but that's what budget traveling is.
Sure.
But for those of them who actually want to know how can they actually do budget traveling, like what do they need to do in order to cut their costs and save money while traveling. So give us everything that you can on the table right now. So before we enter into what budget traveling is all about and how you can actually divide your traveling expenditure into half, tell me what actually sparks that travel fire within you.
Travel fire. So I would say my family for sure.
Okay.
So my parents used to do like road trips pretty often. So we would drive up all the way to Thailand, come back. Other than that, like every time we had a school holiday, my dad would say, let's go travel somewhere, instead of just like going off to the malls and that kind of stuff. So I guess it started from there. My dad travels pretty often because of work too. So yeah, and we just like exploring the whole family. And when it just went on to me straight away when I was in uni. So I was away from my family, of course. So I had to travel on my own. And that's when it started over there, like the small solo trips where I go for hiking solo. I went on for solo trips to a few other cities. I had an idea of bringing my friends, but that's when I'll continue that on the budget traveling part. So that's why I went solo compared to with a friend.
Right. And then how many countries have you traveled to?
Okay, we gotta count them right now. Alright, so
really that many countries?
It's not too many, but then I just miscount once a while. So
wow, guys.
Okay, so I'll start off with the ones that I went off with my family. So I went to Australia, Cambodia, Singapore, Brunei, India, Sri Lanka.
How many so far? 7.
So and I want to Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam. So that's 10.
10 countries, guys, at the age of 23. What?
So Maldives, Maldives, and Norway, Norway, England, France, Germany, Holland, Italy, Belgium.
Wow.
It's like 18.
18 countries.
I might have missed out.
Guys,
Yeah.
18 plus countries
So,
at the
yeah.
age of 23. So you've seen pretty much, huh?
Not enough. Or
More-
to be honest,
more to
not
come,
enough.
right.
For sure.
Okay, so now the thing that you guys have been waiting for, budget traveling. So what advice would you give them to actually travel in a budget manner and to actually save money while traveling? So
Okay.
give us the truth, the cold harsh
For sure.
truth, the real shit, man. That's what you guys want, and that's what we're gonna give it to you.
For sure. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you why budget travel first. Yeah.
Okay.
So like a lot of people ask me like, why don't you just want to spend and then go? The
Yeah.
reason is so simple. Where I was a student,
Mhm.
I didn't have the money. I had to work part time, and working in Malaysia, they don't really get paid that much.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about, for example, if you want to travel to another country, you have to work for a month to travel maybe for 1 week in another country. So
Wow.
when that came into my mind, I was like, if I set the budget smaller, I will be able to see more. So even with a long time, I can just squeeze up everything and then still travel with a smaller budget. So that's what
Wow.
sparked like, okay, I have to budget travel to see more in this world.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like in terms of like how do I start budget traveling, first thing is a lot of reading.
Wow.
So it's
okay.
either through Instagram, like Instagram you can just start searching through the hashtags, you can find
Uh-huh.
more places, so that's one.
Uh-huh.
Another one will be through blog spots.
Mhm.
So I
Guys,
read-
write this down. This is
For sure.
gold, man. Gold advice.
These are the type of things I've been doing for the past like 2 years,
Right.
just trying to get information again and again. So you have like a lot of travel videos. A lot of people make travel videos of almost every destination.
Hmm.
You name it, like anywhere in Malaysia, there is a travel video already for it.
Mhm.
So you can get information like just through YouTube itself. Blogspots is a really good one. Yeah, so even with these 4 things, like you can already start coming up with your ideas and stuff.
Mhm.
And then you just have to start planning it out, like if I go here, what are the chances of how much I'll be spending? You just
Right.
write it all out, then just go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing that's amazing about you is that you wanted to travel so bad and you didn't have the money.
Yeah.
But instead of sitting at home and complaining like most of us do, including me, like, oh, I've got no money, so I'm just gonna stay at home and continue playing Xbox or PS4. You actually put in the effort, you actually put in the work to go and do something about it.
Sure.
And to actually fulfill your dreams,
for
right?
sure.
And guys, by the way, if you've not checked his Instagram out, this is his Instagram.
Yeah.
It's amazing. He's the future Sam Calder, J. Alvarez.
It's quite a
His
lot.
Instagram is popping, so smash that follow button and yeah, follow this amazing dude, man.
You should check it out. Yeah.
And
for sure.
yeah, any mind-blowing countries that you've been to at a super duper low price? Like you were telling me about Hawaii, you did.
Okay, no, Hawaii I didn't do, but that's one other plan. Okay.
Right. Okay.
So I'm just gonna leave this out here, so you can just try to imagine. You can do Hawaii in 1 month with 5,000 ringgit. One
1
whole month,
month.
including tickets.
Ringgit. 5,000.
5,000.
What?
So you imagine in 1 month in Hawaii what you can see just with 5,000. I'll be doing it soon, not yet, but yeah.
But you've got the plan all set.
I have a little bit of it set. I haven't like gone in full because I'm still trying to find the time right now.
Wow.
So yeah.
How about your Norway trip? About your Europe trip? How much
yeah.
you did that, and how long were you there in Europe? Guys, when he told me this, I was like,
So-
dude.
Like Norway was, to be honest, like if you told me at the start of last year, I never would imagine myself going to Europe.
And you did this all by yourself, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the thing. Norway. How did I get that idea? I was actually planning for other trips. I was thinking about Middle East. I was actually thinking about Hawaii. And Norway came up because the tickets was super duper cheap. So there was an airlines called Norwegian Airlines. Okay, I'm gonna give you another tip. So if you want to search for cheap flights, just look up this website www.secretflying.com.
Secret flying.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
so Secret Flying, what it does, it shares the deals, which is really low price, into their website. So it's for
Okay.
free. And then once you see the deal, you can direct yourself back to the airlines and it's the same price. So there's like no extra charge. It's more like a website which shares the deals. Yeah.
All right.
So that's when I saw the price of ticket from Malaysia to Norway. It would cost a total of 650 ringgit.
Round trip.
One way.
One way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's pretty
that's
really
really
good.
cheap. Yeah. Because a normal flight, if you want to reach to Norway, without Norwegian Airlines, it's gonna take you like from Malaysia. You have to fly to either London or you have to fly to Dubai,
stop over,
and then get another flight.
Okay.
So this was actually a direct flight from Krabi. So Malaysia to Krabi, it's so cheap right now with AirAsia. So like it was about 100 ringgit. Then together with the flight was actually 500 something. So together with this 100 ringgit,
wow,
650 to Norway. So that's when I thought, okay, Norway, the tickets are cheap. There's no visa needed for Malaysians, Scandinavian countries. And yeah, so Norway, okay, this is one thing. When I saw the tickets, I booked for Norway, but I didn't know that Norway is actually one of the most expensive country in the world.
It is?
It is, for sure. So you're talking about prices more expensive than even Dubai.
Wow.
And even as close as Switzerland.
Whoa,
Okay.
yeah, Switzerland, that's
Switzerland's
expensive.
yeah. So
It's
I
crazy.
met a couple of people from Switzerland. They even told me like it's more expensive for them to travel in Norway compared to Switzerland. That's when it hit to my mind like, oh man, okay, I'm actually cutting down a lot of costs which I didn't even imagine that I'll be cutting it down.
Yeah.
And yeah, so when I reached to Norway, it was really hard to travel because I've been doing like really budget traveling. But then when you travel in Europe, some people say, okay, you don't convert, it's cheap. Yeah, but something in my mind kept on telling me, okay, I have to convert and then count how much it's.
Yeah, I think it's in it.
It's, yeah.
Even when I travel, I'll always think in terms of ringgit Malaysia rather than in their currency.
For sure. Like that's what I was thinking. Like the first train that I took, I think was about 60 ringgit for about 10 minutes ride to the town. And then like when I compare it to Malaysia, that's like 65 ringgit for a Grab car. And I wouldn't be taking Grab car if I'm budget traveling. But I realized that there's no other way. So that's when I think after the first day I told myself, okay, I have to just cut down, but I'll spend like how I want to. Yeah. Alright, so that's in terms of like transportation and stuff. And then when it comes down to accommodation, it's the most expensive thing to me in Europe. You're talking about a minimum of 150 ringgit per room. So I did couchsurfing, that's one.
Couchsurfing.
Couchsurfing, yeah.
Yeah, guys, you should check couchsurfing out.
Should,
It's amazing.
Sure. It's amazing. It's like you're gonna be staying with the locals itself. So if you want to experience the local culture, like I did in France, yeah. So I got a story for that. Okay,
Alright,
yeah.
you got some. Okay, I'm excited.
It's not the best story, but then yeah, I have to tell it for sure. Okay, so yeah, you have like you're staying with the locals. They bring you around. They don't really have to, but then yeah, they can bring you around. And I actually opened up my own hostel for couchsurfing in Curtin. Let's just hope none of y'all from Curtin watches this, like the admin staff or something. But yeah, okay. So I actually brought in travelers into my room to just stay over for a night or two.
That's the definition of a real true hustler out there, man.
So like yeah,
High five, dude.
for sure. So like basically I had a chance to kind of travel while I was still staying in uni. So like I have people from, I had a couple from Belarus, a girl from Poland, two guys from England. So yeah, we had like a very diverse kind of people just coming in, and yeah, so like they just stay in student accommodations, and it's just a cheaper way for them to travel. At the same time, it's an exchange of cultures and stuff. So it's pretty good.
And then another website that I would strongly urge you guys to check out is workaway.com. So I think 2 years back I was in Kenya. So I volunteered as a teacher for 3 months actually in Kenya.
Yeah.
So I taught English, Maths and Science in the slums of Nairobi.
Beautiful.
And it was just a mind-blowing experience. I've seen so many things, and like what you said, right after SPM, a lot of my friends started working. But my dad, shout outs to my dad by the way, he had different ideas for me. He wanted me to go out there and travel the world. And he said that he's willing to actually pay. But now whenever I travel, I try to work and try to save as much as I can, because I want to travel, not my parents, so I don't want to burden my parents.
True, that's the thing, yeah.
How this website works is actually, right, you go to a country, you can choose any country that you want to, and then you exchange your time. In return, you get accommodation. So you can do gardening, you can pay into the school.
I heard like some places they give food too, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then you can teach, like what I did, and in exchange you get a free accommodation, free food, and that sort of stuff.
It's
so
amazing,
if you guys are really into budget traveling, you guys want to travel for free, I would strongly urge you guys to check out workaway.com and couchsurfing.
How long were you in Kenya?
I was in Kenya. Sorry, not 3 months. I was there for 2 months.
2 months. Okay.
Yes, at the age of 17, all alone in a different country.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
for
I have stories for you guys as well, but yeah, you go on.
Okay. So like one of it was couchsurfing, like I said. And then I had friends, of course. Okay, so like Malaysians, you have some friends along the way in different countries. So I stayed over in their place.
Right.
So like I stayed with one of my childhood friend, Rashdan. So like I stayed in his place for a couple of days. We even went out to a few of the Malaysian student meetup. So I met up like other students from Malaysia who were actually in the same high school with me.
Okay.
But then coincidentally, we just met up suddenly in Europe.
Okay.
So it's amazing. And another one which I use, which to me a lot of people will be skeptical about it, is Instagram. Right? Would you actually?
Oh, Instagram.
Yeah. Okay. So would you actually allow someone who you met through Instagram to stay over in your house? So that kind of thing. To be honest, I haven't had anyone from Instagram stay over in my place.
Wow.
But then I had really, really nice people that allowed me to stay over in their place. So there's a couple of times in Norway. I kept in touch with one of her friend for about 2 years, and then when I went to Norway, she was actually Australian.
Right.
So when she moved to Norway, I found out that I'm gonna be passing by her town. So I told, can I just come over? It was amazing. So we ended up watching How I Met Your Mother in her place for a couple of hours, and we only knew each other through Instagram.
Wow.
So that is one. England, I met a guy from Bangkok. We went out together. When we came back to Malaysia, I brought him out, and then I went on to England. Then I stayed over in his place for 4 days. It's amazing.
You know how our parents used to say, "Don't talk to strangers," but he just proved that how social media from nothing you can actually forge a friendship.
For sure.
But how do you actually know when to trust someone and when not to trust someone through social media?
I think you just have to try. Like, I haven't had any bad experience through social media right now.
Yeah.
I had in couchsurfing, which I can talk about it, but through social
We'll
media.
have our story time after this.
For sure. So, through Instagram, so far I've been like, it's great. Like the community is great. Everyone's very welcoming. Of course, you have some people who they'll be thinking, okay, maybe I might not like someone to come in, but then they're very willing to pass on some tips. So that's just amazing about it. Yeah.
Wow, that's super cool, man. Yeah.
So
and
like,
then, do you want to get into your story? That story that happened in France, or do you have other tips as well?
So like I'll just explain. Like in Europe, I spent like 4 days on accommodation. So these 4 days came by because I didn't plan out well actually. So I wanted to keep it more of a spontaneous kind of thing. I'll reach over there, I'll find a place, and I had to sleep in a bus stop one of the nights.
What?
Wasn't the best experience.
Oh my god.
I hate the cold. It was about it was 0 degrees. And I was sleeping there without I had my jacket on, but then it was not enough. And it was an open bus stop, and I kind of missed out one of the what could probably be one of the best nights in my life. I kind of missed out on it.
Why?
They had the best northern lights in Norway for about 3 years.
Okay.
On that night, but I was too cold underneath the bus stop, so I didn't bother coming out to look at the northern lights.
Oh my
And
gosh! What a bummer!
I only found out about it the following day. So I was walking around, some photographers came up to me and then told, "Oh, did you see the northern lights yesterday?" And I was like, "Nah, I didn't see anything." Then he was like, "It was the best one I've seen in 16 times he has seen northern lights."
Oh
that
gosh.
one guy. So it was pretty bad. Like, but then like I saw the northern lights the day before, so it wasn't a whole huge loss. But still, when someone comes and tell you that's the best in 16 times they would have seen, I'm sure it would have been
But something's
great.
better than nothing, right?
Something's better than nothing.
Yeah. And then one thing about him is that we're not trying to say that you have to do all this radical stuff for budget traveling, right? So I'll share a bit of what I did. I even traveled to Bali solo, totally budget travel. And even when we go out traveling with my family, we do budget traveling as well. Like my dad, he said that he does not want us to be exposed to that rich and all the luxuries. He wants us to experience the local, the culture, how the people live in that country. And that just opened my mind a lot. So some of the tips that I would share with you guys is whenever you guys are traveling accommodation, try using the public transport, because you'll see how the locals actually commute to their work, to their homes. And I was in Sri Lanka, right? Okay. And we actually like started talking, because the Sri Lankans are super duper friendly, and they just started talking to us, and we learned so much about their culture as well. And then try the local foods instead of going to the normal McDonald's, Starbucks and everything, which you can get at home. Why would you want to travel to another country where you can get everything at home, right? That defeats the purpose of traveling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Like what you said, like in terms of trying out local food, every country you go, you have to try the local food. So like, some people came and told me like, what if the local food's more expensive? But that is just the worst thing I would ever hear an excuse for that. Local food is somehow the cheapest food you can find.
For sure, yeah.
And that's the thing. Okay, like I kept it to my my kind of like the way how I choose places to eat. If you go to a place and then you see foreigners eating in it, it's not your local food.
Okay.
If you go to a restaurant or even a shop, especially in Bali, we had that experience where we traveled in a group. So there were some of us who preferred a little bit more comfortable kind of meal.
Yeah.
So a little bit fancy, I would say. And when I reached to the shop, it's written there local dishes. And then you have all this kind of dish and stuff. But then when you look at the shop, it's all foreigners. So that's not the local kind of shop you want to head to. The kind of shop you want to actually go to is like where you go there and it's just the locals. You might not be able to speak the same language with them. So that's when you know it's the authentic local food and it's going to be cheap.
Yeah, like I remember in Nusa Penida, I was on a scooter and just riding through Nusa Penida.
It's nice.
Dude, guys, if you guys are ever in Bali, please visit Nusa Penida. It's the most beautiful island in the whole freaking world. Especially when you go to Kelingking Beach, it's
Kelingking Beach is by far the best and my most favorite beach ever. So like there was once where I went there, I only spent like half an hour in the beach.
Okay.
So I told myself I have to go back there for the second time. And 1 year, 3 months later, I was back there for the second time.
Wow.
And that's when I slept over the beach, which I think you were interested to do.
Right? Yeah, definitely. In May, I'll be going back to Bali.
That's amazing, yeah.
I'm definitely want to. So yes, I was saying we kind of got sidetracked a bit. So I was riding through the scooter, and I stopped by one of the local eateries, you know, like right beside the road, you know. And I went there and I tasted their food. Dude, the food over there, it tasted so much more delicious and so much more authentic compared to the restaurants that I was in Bali. So definitely try the local food. And another tip that I would give is, if you're traveling, stay in hostels. Because when you stay in hostels, you get to meet other travelers as well. Like I was staying in Ubud in a hostel, which only costs 10 ringgit a night, and it's super amazing. I'll show you guys right now. And it was super amazing, dude. It was like a 5-star hostel. And I met up with other travelers. One was from New Zealand, another one was from Australia.
That's nice.
And we started talking and everything. And then they told me what to do in Nusa Penida, because I was supposed to go to Nusa Penida the next day.
Free tips,
guys, free tips. But I know you guys might be saying like, why hostels and everything? That's the thing. Traveling and going on vacation are two different things. If you're going on vacation, definitely you want the comfortability, you want to relax and chill. If you're traveling, you're going mainly to see the culture, the depth, right? The true shit in the country,
it's
right?
Two different things,
and it's just mind blowing, man. And I always tell myself and other people that traveling is an investment, because people say, "Hey, Harghun, why do you travel so much? You're wasting money." No, when you travel, you come back as a different person. You come back more open-minded. You learn so much, right?
Every trip, So like you said, hostels the best. You meet the best kind of people. Even the hostel, like the person who's in charge of the hostel. They're so nice and they are so willing to actually help you out.
Exactly.
Especially in public transport, renting scooters and stuff.
Like they'll tell you which is the cheapest place to rent a scooter or the best place in town to actually eat, makan and stuff like that. It's just amazing. So we'll dive into some of the stories that Kovin has for us. So tell us the craziest story that you have right now.
I'm gonna start off with the one that we kept on touching on, the couchsurfing in France. Okay, so I might touch on the 2 couchsurfing stories. Okay, so firstly, I'm gonna say couchsurfing is the best kind of thing. All right, it's the best way how you wanna stay overseas and stuff, especially in a country where it's a little bit too expensive to pay for a hostel. So I had 2 stories over there. One was in Norway. I was staying with a lady. She's about 60 years old.
Okay.
Really nice lady. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But then she had a thing for teddy bears. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm not gonna judge on this. But yeah, I am gonna judge on this. Okay. So I just couldn't. Okay. So like, she talks to her teddy bears. All right.
Whoa.
So let's just
wait.
let that sink in a bit.
That's creepy.
Okay. So
It's like Annabelle. Just imagine Annabelle,
Yeah.
the doll, over there, and like someone is actually talking to
to
that. That's scary, man.
But I'm gonna stress this again. She's a really nice lady.
Okay.
But she talks to teddy bears. Okay?
Like how does she talk? Like she has
So-
like a real conversation with it.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened was, we were at her. Like she actually came to pick me up from town.
Mhm.
We went
Oh,
back
that's
to
nice of her.
She's really nice. I'm gonna say it. She's a really nice lady.
Okay.
Okay. So, because I kept on stressing that out because even it's a negative story, she's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, we went to her place. Really beautiful place. She had an apartment, so she gave me a room for free. She had like everything in the room, extra
Right.
heaters and stuff. Since it's Norway, it's cold.
Yeah.
And when we reached to the hall, so I saw like 3 teddy bears on the chair, and yeah, like just sitting down on the couch. And
I
then
thought
like,
it was at the cupboard or something.
no,
like
no,
that.
it was on the couch,
Wow.
living room.
Okay,
So
that makes it even more creepy.
yeah, and I went in to sit on in the living room. So then she came by and then she was like, "Can you pass me?" I can't remember the names of the teddy bears.
Okay.
So she said, "Can you pass me like one of the teddy bears' name?" And then like I just took and then I passed it to her. And then she was like, then she started petting the teddy bear and then said like, "You've been a good boy today." Okay, that freaked me out.
Were you alone?
I was alone
Oh my god.
with a lady and 3 teddy bears. Yeah. So
What was your reaction like?
I kept
Did
quiet.
you
like
you
I
felt like
was-
running away, or were you like,
No,
okay,
not
this
really,
is,
like- I don't know. She seemed normal. So she's like a really normal lady. She speaks everything. Just like she had
a
a thing
fetish.
for fetish for teddy bears. Yeah. So it's pretty creepy, but I mean the teddy bears don't move. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
You may never
So,
know, like
yeah.
when you turn around, they're like doing
Then
something
suddenly
behind
moves.
your
Then
back.
okay, I'm running out of that for sure. Then so yeah. Then other than that, it was good. She cooked for me reindeer meat. I cooked for her the next day.
Wow.
So it's a really good experience. Other than the teddy bears, but yeah.
Mm.
So I even asked her like, where do you get the teddy bears from? So she said like they were actually gifts from other people from different countries.
Oh.
So maybe it's just her thing, but yeah.
Maybe like, is she alone?
She's alone,
She
but
lives
she's
alone?
married 3 times, and
Okay.
husband comes over once a week. So
What I would think is that maybe she's feeling lonely. Like
Yeah.
that's what I would say. And then like maybe she just needs someone to talk to, right? Guys, come on,
Probably,
guys,
probably,
look at the
yeah,
positive
probably.
side, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
okay, but she's a nice lady. Stressing that up for the
That's
5th time.
great
For
of
the
her.
5th time, yeah.
Wow. But
So that's an experience for sure.
yeah, true, man. Like even I would feel so creeped out, but I would definitely put myself in her shoes and see where she's
Yeah.
coming from. Yeah. And another
So the other one was, this is probably not the most pleasant kind of thing.
okay.
So what happened was I was in France.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually staying with a nudist. Okay, nudist. Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to explain to them what nudist
So
actually is?
a person who's actually comfortable being naked in public. Okay, so it might even be in their own room or something, or even in their own house. Okay.
Okay.
So I was staying with this guy, and I didn't know that he was a nudist. Nudist, right?
Yeah.
Nudist. Yeah.
Nudist.
Yeah. So I didn't really know that he was until the second day,
Okay.
and
What happened?
he was gay. Okay. So what happened? Okay, the reason why I actually stayed with him, because France was pretty last minute. I've only planned out my Europe trip for Norway, and the rest of it I was like, let's just go on with it, like however it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't had a host for France,
Mm-hmm.
so I had to like send in 1 day before. And when you send in 1 day before for couchsurfing, you may not get the best hosts,
Mm.
because you might get people who are like a little bit dodgy,
Okay.
especially when you do it last minute.
Yeah.
So this guy, but he was nice. He had another guy with him.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy was from Germany, and so there was 2 of us. Then he kept on touching. I'm not a homophobic, okay? It's homophobic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not a homophobic myself. So I'm fine with people being gay and straight, anything, right? So what kept on bugging me was like every topic that he touched, it came down to something sexual kind of thing. But I had this German guy with me, so it was fine because like we had a company, even though he was there.
Alright.
So he brought us around. He showed us around the market. He bought us breakfast and stuff. He did for us breakfast. So it's a really nice guy. Just that he had his side for it. And on the last day, just before I left, that's when things got pretty bad. So I was like brushing my teeth in the washroom, and he just walked in naked. So that was the first time he actually walked in naked.
Oh, right? And it was totally unexpected.
Totally unexpected.
Oh my god.
So when he walked in naked, and I was still brushing my teeth, looking at the mirror, and I could see him right next to me, I was like, okay. Then I told to myself, okay, just get out from this room. Then she was like, nah, you can stay. I'm just taking my shower. And I was like, okay. So he went to the bathtub right at the back of me. I was in shock. So I didn't had enough time to think I should just run out. I was still brushing my teeth facing the mirror with him naked at the back. And then he was taking his shower, he turned on the tap, and I was like, okay, I'm done. Then I just walked out.
Oh.
But after that, he was back to normal. He didn't really touch on the topic or anything. It was fine. Until the next day, he even dropped me off all the way at the bus stop. So yeah.
I think it's fine to have your own preference, but I think it's fine for him to be a nudist. That's just him. But he should have informed you.
Yeah, that's one thing.
At the very
it's
least,
not even written on the couchsurfing, so that's one thing. And I probably should have read the reviews through. Okay, so one thing about couchsurfing. Okay, this is one thing I stress everyone on it. Only stay with people where you think their reviews are legit or they have good reviews. So this guy, I've actually only read 2 of his reviews, and then I saw there was 100 plus reviews.
Wow.
So I thought, okay, this guy's legit. But what I didn't know was, all of these reviews, most of them were nudists themselves. Okay, so they didn't mind, but then to me, it might be something, a really huge difference for me. Yeah.
So definitely we're not going to judge because different people have different personalities. But what I want to stress here is that when you travel, you see these kind of things. And these kind of things actually make you a more open person out there.
For sure.
Right? It just opens up your mind. You become a more open person towards these kind of things. You don't become too judgmental. You don't close yourself. Because when you turn on the news, right, you see bombings here, terrorist attacks here. But when you actually travel, right, the world is so much more peaceful and better compared to what the news actually portrays out there.
Exactly.
So when you actually watch the news, you crave your bubble even more. But when you actually take the step and travel, you actually see that hey, the world is pretty okay. And even if things go bad, you become a more open person. You start accepting how the world works and everything. So there was this one time when I was in Kenya. I wanted to visit the local Sikh temple, the Gurdwara.
Nice.
And then I took a bus from the place that I was staying all the way to the Sikh temple, which is located right at the city center. And my friend from Spain, his name is Said. If you're watching, what's up? He was like, hey dude, I'm really interested in your religion and everything. I would really like to see where you pray. So I was like, yeah, sure, hop along. So we were in the bus.
He's from Spain.
He's from Spain. He was a volunteer as well. And the bus stopped right in front of the Sikh temple, and then the both of us got down. So as we were walking, 4 soldiers with huge big ass guns, they came and they stopped us. They said, hey you, over there, come here. Where's your passport? So in Kenya, right, you have to actually photocopy a passport. If you don't have a photocopy passport, the police or the soldiers, they can actually bring you to the police station.
Oh, wow. Just like that.
And this has to do with the corruption that is very, very, very active in Kenya. And it doesn't make sense, why, right? So Said, he didn't have his passport with him. But I, thank God, I had my photostated passport with me. So he said, where's your passport? I was super scared. These guys are huge with huge biceps and big guns, real guns. I freaked out because you just imagine, right? There are cars everywhere honking and it's hot, it's dusty, and you just do not know what's actually happening. So these guys come in and I quickly took out my passport. I was like, yeah, here you go. Your friend, he does not have his passport. We have to bring him to the police station. I was like, dude, what? First of all,
how old were you guys? You were 17.
I was 17 and he's 24. Right. And first of all, we do not know if these guys are real because this scam is very, very popular in Kenya. Right. Secondly, we do not know where's the police station. And third, we don't know what this can actually do to us, right? We were super scared. So Syed, he's super rebellious, you know. He was like, no way, like, what's wrong? I don't have a passport with me, right? Like, what's wrong with it? You know, it's nothing huge, it's nothing big. He was arguing, and they kept on arguing. And I was just standing there, I was stunned. I didn't know what to do. One of the soldiers came up to me, he pulled my hand, and he whispered into my ear, if you pay for our lunch, we will let you go. So I was like, okay, this is corruption right in front of my eyes, right? So I actually took out 1,000 shillings, which is, I'm not too sure how much is it, I don't really remember, and I gave it to him, and they actually just walked off, you know. But you
this
guys
was in the center, in the middle of the street.
Middle of the streets, man, like where everyone is walking, and it's just crazy, dude. Our moods were turned off. We were like, we were like, shit, man, like this actually happened to us. And I don't want to shit talk about Kenya. Kenya is one of the most beautiful countries I've ever been to. If you guys are planning to go to Africa, please go to Kenya. It's so amazing. The people there are beautiful. They're just so amazing. But it's just, you know, sometimes you have small incidents that actually happen.
It happens in everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere around the world.
And that shouldn't actually, you know, stop you from actually traveling. That should actually encourage you to actually go and seek discomfort, to actually see what's actually happening out there.
Yeah.
And another thing, before I traveled to Kenya, a lot of people were telling me that Kenya is so dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, the people there will mug you and everything. And for the first week, I was traumatized from whatever I heard and read from the internet. But dude, it's all fake, man. Kenyans, you guys are amazing. Dude, the hospitality, the love that they give you, the welcome that they give you, it's just mind-blowing, man. It's just amazing. It's
amazing,
love.
yeah.
I'll definitely want to go back to Kenya someday, man.
That's the thing, like we always hear about in the media and stuff, until we actually reach there, then we know the truth, right?
Exactly. It's so different, man.
For sure.
Like the world is so much more peaceful than what the media actually says. Alright, another question that we had from one of the viewers out there is, if you do not have enough budget to travel, what would you do?
Okay, so basically budget travel, so that's one thing. If you don't have the budget, you just make it work with whatever money you have.
Okay,
You have
how do you do that?
Okay, it comes down to your comfort, I guess. Like the more money you have, the more comfort you're traveling with. You're gonna be traveling with. Okay, so like there was once, well, when I was in uni, my parents are paying for me everything.
Yeah.
So I didn't had to work for my uni. That's one thing, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm privileged for that. So even when I wanted to travel, I had to save up from whatever I had like throughout the whole month. So I saved that up, and then at 1 week I realized, like I was telling myself, let's just put 200 ringgit and see how far I can go.
Wow. Okay. So you just challenge yourself just like that.
So I just told myself 200 ringgit. Let's see if I can make it all the way from Miri to Kota Kinabalu and come back. So this is about, if I'm not mistaken, it's about 1,500 kilometers. And then I told myself, I'm a hitchhike. And if you're wondering how I actually started hitchhiking, it was actually a person who I hosted. She's from Poland.
Okay.
So when she came over to stay in my student accommodation, she just told me one of the days, let's go hitchhike somewhere.
Whoa.
So that was the first time I actually hitchhiked with her.
Wow.
To be honest, the stereotypes is there. So when you see a white person in an Asian country, it's so much more easier to get a ride compared when you see an Indian like just standing at the side there. You always think twice. I would think twice, to be honest, with all the things happening. So it was actually harder for me to get a ride, but then I still managed to make it. So like I managed to reach all the way from Miri to Beaufort. So if you actually look that up in Google Map, you realize how far is it. And even driving all the way to KK, it would actually, people consider it twice. So to actually hitchhike with the amount of time, it was really something else. So when I reached over there, I remember along the way, a lot of people kept on asking me, why you're doing this? It was not really easy to explain, but then I had to tell to them, like, I just wanted to travel. I didn't have enough budget. So that's one of the things.
So it comes down to how bad you want it.
Yeah,
at the end of the
how
day.
bad you want it.
You
so
make
like,
it work.
Yeah, if I had the chance to actually spend the money and then take a bus all the way there, I could have. But I wanted to make it work with the amount of money I have, because to me it's more of like the people who I've met while hitchhiking. Okay, I didn't keep in contact with all of them, which is pretty sad, but then I still have in contact with some of them. And the people I've met would have been like, the impact, although it's maybe about 5 minutes would have met them along the car, the impact we would have made to each other's lives is so much more than me just taking a bus and then going all the way there.
Yeah.
So like sometimes it would have even motivated them to even, okay, if he can do it, I'm gonna try that too.
Wow, yeah.
So I know someone who staying in Lawas. So this is a guy, he's 18 years old. He was actually driving a oil palm lorry. So he was transferring the oil palm fruits to his company, and he was only 18.
Wow.
Okay, so when he met me and then he found out I was like 22, and then he asked me like, how do you have the money to do this while you're still studying and stuff? Then I told him like, how much do you think I would spend all the way from Miri to KK and come back? He told me 1,000 ringgit. So I told him like, if you just put that 200 ringgit, I'm gonna do it in 200 ringgit. So I called him up actually once I reached back to Miri, and I told him I done it in 200 ringgit.
Damn, you're savage. Yeah.
So
you're
like,
savage.
So it made him like think, okay, he can do it. He doesn't have to be really that rich to even travel. So yeah, even when I reached to Kota Belud, I was in denial to even take like any accommodation in Kota Belud, because Kota Belud, we had to, the cheapest hostel there was about 150 per night. So I told to myself, okay, I was at a goreng pisang shop. They were selling some food and kuehs and stuff. So I was just sitting down there, and then I know I was late. I didn't have accommodation, so I was just waiting over there for something to happen. And suddenly, they told me like they had the Ketua Kampung, so like the village leader, and he told me like, you can come and stay over at my house.
What?
So this happened like 7 o'clock, where I was ready to even sleep in the bus stop already, or even in the fire station. Oh, there was a fire station in Kota Belud, so that was actually my two options. So he invited me to his house. We had dinner. It's a very simple house. It's a wooden house. If you scroll through my Instagram, it's all the way at the bottom. You can see the house, like, and it's a really nice guy. He had me in his house for 3 days. It's just beautiful to be with your family, and I still call them up until today. This is like more than a year ago.
So, final question from me. Out of all of the travels and crazy mad experiences and adventures that you've been through, what's something that you've learned throughout everything that you've gone through, and something that you will share with the viewers out there?
Something I've learned, I would say, the world is not like how people expect it to be. Okay, so like some people would say like it's a nice place. I'm not gonna say it's a nice place. Some people would say it's a bad place. I'm not gonna say it's totally bad. So like once you start traveling, you start realizing that there's a good and bad in everything. Okay, so like some places you might see the best of the country, some places you might not see the best of the country, and it just opens up your eye. Like, okay, whatever you have right now, like whatever you're wearing right now, you just feel blessed that you're in this position right now. And whoever's that born with privilege, I was born with privilege to travel, because like not many people can travel. That's one thing. So
for sure,
I guess just be happy where you are, and I guess just try to make the most of your life.
And definitely the thing that I actually took away from today's podcast session is that if you really, really, really want to do something in life, if you really want something in life, you will find a way. If your why is strong, the how will automatically come. Like, look at him. He's a university student, right? And his parents, like, they did not give you like, oh look, 10k, travel. Nah. He hustled his way through. He worked as a Grab driver. You even like invited other foreigners into his hostel to live in so they can earn that money and use it to travel. So coming back again, right? Never make excuses if you want to do something. If you really, really, truly are passionate of something, and in today's day and age, like what you said, you have blogs, articles, YouTube videos, you can find a way to actually do whatever that you want to do. And do it. Like I've always bitched that I can't travel here and there. Man.
Right now you can, for sure.
Man, amazing. And we've come to the end of the podcast. I really, really hope you guys have taken something from the podcast session.
For sure. Yeah.
Dude, you just dropped like knowledge bombs out there.
That is a lot. Something that I would have learned maybe for the past 2 years, I guess. Yeah. It's all experience and stuff.
Yeah, guys, we're definitely going to bring in so many other more amazing people. Keep on following us. Subscribe to this channel. Follow his Instagram page, dude. Sam Calder, malicious Sam Calder.
Not
guys,
yet,
yeah, definitely he's gonna pop up one day. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next podcast session. Ciao.